Oh boy, so Niantic is starting off 2021 with some controversy, and yeah, I'm actually not really surprised because when I read this new blog post for these new avatar items, I was kind of shocked at how tone-deaf Niantic was being. In a nutshell, they decided to release some Gucci and North Face themed avatar items, and they are going to be location exclusives. Now, what do I mean by location exclusive? Well, in order to pick up these avatar items, you actually have to physically go to these Gucci stores in order to spin their Pokestops, and then you're going to get the avatar items from those Pokestops. Now, I have some thoughts regarding this sort of mechanic. I actually think it's kind of a cool idea, and I'm going to be explaining why. But with the pandemic currently going on, I really feel like the timing of something like this being released into Pokemon Go is just a terrible thing. Like, you really couldn't have picked a worse time to release something like this into the game, but yeah. Now, I know that a lot of the controversies around Pokemon Go lately have been around monetization, and of course this really isn't one of those issues, but it's really another kind of issue, and I really want to talk about that because I think when it comes to how they're going to run their game in 2021, Niantic really needs to tread carefully considering where people are around the world and what they are going through right now. So yeah, I'm going to be diving into all of this in today's video. Let's roll the intro and get right into it. And how's it going, everyone? It's me, it's Count here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. Again, I really hate having to make these sort of videos where I just criticize Niantic and talk about all the controversies that are surrounding them. I mean, I really like Pokemon Go. I really enjoy this game. It's definitely brought a lot of positivity to my life, and for me to constantly cover negative things on my channel, it's something that I really wish wasn't the case. But I do have to talk about things that really just I just want to be constructive as possible, so that's kind of my aim with this video. I really want Niantic to make the right steps in 2021, and for them to start off on a bad foot is kind of disheartening. I really want them to have a good streak in 2021, and I definitely think that is something that is possible, considering that in 2020, I will say that as much as there were a lot of negatives, there were definitely a lot of good positives for the game and for all of the players that I really think 2020 was a very positive year for Pokemon Go, and I really hope 2021 follows suit. But regardless of that, we do have to talk about this controversy. I think that Niantic, for a long time now, they've been kind of out of the spotlight when it comes to the worldwide pandemic and how certain apps are treating it. I think Niantic built up a good reputation for how they handled the pandemic and all of the in-game adjustments that they made, that they took that reputation and started to push the boundaries a little bit. And they started implementing a lot of things into Pokemon Go that would require you to leave the house and actually go out and play. And this is actually one of those mechanics. Now, I honestly think that a lot of players having backlash over this sort of thing is well merited, considering that around the world we're still suffering from the pandemic, we're still suffering from lockdowns, and we really can't go out and play, and a lot of players have been voicing that concern. But regardless of the fact, Niantic decided to go ahead with this sort of promotional event, or this sort of mechanic where you actually have to go to these Pokestops physically in order to get certain avatar items. Now, on paper, this may not necessarily be a bad idea. In fact, I would actually say it's a pretty cool idea that I feel like Niantic should have tried out a long time ago. I like the idea of them actually rewarding you for going out and exploring. And if we were to take the context of the pandemic out of it, I actually think something like this would actually work out really well for Pokemon Go. If you were to go out to sponsored stops, aside from just getting Pokeballs and some of the regular items, it would be really cool if you were able to get some sort of cosmetic item out of it. Like if you were to go to a Starbucks, like it'd be really cool if you can get an avatar item that actually shows your avatar holding a Starbucks cup or something like that. I really think something like that would have been really cool for Pokemon Go a long time ago. But unfortunately right now, this sort of mechanic just does not belong into Pokemon Go while we have a worldwide pandemic going on. And like I said at the top of this video, this really isn't even an egregious monetization scheme like we've been seeing recently. It's something that's kind of harmless for Pokemon Go. Like, it is cosmetic items. It's not necessary for you to enjoy this game. It's not something that's going to be irrelevant for raids or PvP. But yeah, I mean, it's still the precedent behind it where a lot of players have issue with it. That the fact that there is a lockdown and a pandemic going on, and then Niantic releases something like this. And it's not even just that. The fact that it's limited to just 100 stores around the world in major cities, that means if you live in a rural area and you have no access to one of these stores, then you are not going to be able to get these avatar items. So even if you can travel, even if there is no lockdown in your area, chances are you will not even be able to get these avatar items anyway. And it's not like a Pokemon that you could trade with someone that actually gets it. These are avatar items that are exclusive to these stores. So unless you're lucky enough to actually live near one of these stores, you will not be able to get these items at all. Now, there is a possibility that they will add it to the Poke Shop in the future so you can just pick it up with Poke Coins. But again, that's just asking players to spend money unnecessarily, and it's just an unfortunate thing. And I really have to emphasize that this really is something that supports spoofers and the spoofing community, and I think Niantic is fully aware of that, and that's really concerning, considering that, yeah, the spoofing community has died down quite a lot in 2021, ironically considering that the pandemic has locked so many players at their home. But yeah, when I look at this promotion at the surface, I just can't help but think that, you know, spoofers are the ones that are going to benefit the most from this, and that's really concerning for legit players. It's really a bad look for the game if you're trying to play this game legit. I mean, if they're going to keep throwing a bone to spoofers, then that's just going to encourage more players to spoof instead of play legitimately. These are some of the things that Niantic needs to keep in mind when it comes to releasing certain features into Pokemon Go. Is this going to encourage players from cheating? Is this going to be a detriment to the game long term? You know, I really feel like Niantic needs to take the time to think about these sort of things before they release something like this. And again, I totally understand that this is a sponsored thing, that North Face and Gucci probably actually paid Niantic to do something like this, so maybe they had their hands tied and they actually were forced to do something like this in order to fulfill their contracts with their sponsors, but I really don't know. Honestly, I feel like this could have been executed a lot better. Maybe they could have given us an alternative way to get these avatar items that didn't require us to travel. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of things Niantic could have done, but unfortunately they just did not do it. But again, I really like a feature like this, and I really think it could work really well for Pokemon Go in the future once the pandemic calms down. So I really hope Niantic takes a lot of the feedback that they're getting behind this feature and they actually implement it stronger in the future so that players actually can enjoy something like this, because optimistically speaking, Niantic could do a lot of cool and unique things with Pokestops, especially sponsored Pokestops. They just really haven't explored that area, and this is kind of like the first step into that foray. So I'm really curious to see how it could all go. And yeah, us as a community, I know we're kind of used to just giving a lot of negative feedback when it comes to anything Niantic does for Pokemon Go, and I really hope Niantic could change that in 2021, because like I said, there were a lot of good things that happened in 2020. I just think they got overlooked a lot by some of the negatives that players were seeing, and I really think Niantic needs to avoid doing stuff like this, and I hope they put that extra thought into everything they implement so that players perceive things positively, and that Niantic just builds up that reputation with their own community that they are doing a lot of positive things, and you know, they need to be given credit where credit is due. But in any case, yeah, these are just all of my thoughts regarding this whole Gucci controversy. I would really like to know where you guys are at when it comes to this sort of thing. If you guys and gals can actually comment down below what you think about this whole controversy, we could have a great discussion, and that would be awesome. But yeah, so leave your thoughts down below. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video if you ended up enjoying it. I am Count Jinsula, be safe, have fun, and I'll catch you all later.